This is a story of a guy famous in the entertainment industry for possibly all the wrong reasons as said by others. His several lawsuits and controversial lyrics have continually shocked, insulted, and fascinated millions. With blatantly violent records ranging from perverse to slightly comical, he has earned himself worldwide recognition and increasing number of fans. Looking beyond his out-of-control music and court cases, he is a good father and artist with a passion to prove himself to those who doubt him. With years of struggles to getting where he is now, he is proud to tell the story of his humble beginnings. This is the story of Marshall Bruce Mathers III, popularly known as Eminem. From bullied and broke to best-selling hip-hop artist. Born on October 17, 1972, in St. Joseph, Missouri, to a 15-year-old mother and without a father to support him. He and his mother never settled in one place between Missouri and Michigan. They lived in public housing projects as his mother failed to hold a job for more than a few months at a time. Eventually, they settled in a reputedly dangerous neighborhood in Detroit, where gangs would often bully Marshall for no reasons. Things were terrible for him at school. Marshall was always the new kid, so he made very few friends and mostly kept to himself. He was not so smart and did badly in almost every subject, except English. Marshall found the power of words a fascination and would read the dictionary to expand his vocabulary. He also loved comic books, reading them every day and dreaming of illustrating his own comic books in the future. At 9 years of age, being shy made him a target of bullying for older students. He was cornered in the hallways, shoved into lockers, and beaten up in the bathroom. At one time bullying sent him to the hospital with cerebral hemorrhage, where he lost consciousness for 5 days. That incident inspired a song he written years later, called Brain Damage. The bullying continued and he began having terrible days, opting him to skip school. His grades dropped and before he knew it, he had failed grade 9 3 times. There seemed to be no hopes for him until his uncle Ronnie played him his first rap song, Reckless featuring Ice-T. He was instantly amazed. While looking for work under the threat of being kicked out by his mother, Marshall poured his heart and soul into music. He began rapping at age 14 with a high school friend. They habitually skipped class to participate in freestyle rap battles at a nearby school's lunchroom. Soon enough, Marshall felt like he needed to earn the approval of more than just the high school crowd. In preparation, he used his initials and renamed himself as Eminem, which eventually became Eminem. On Saturdays, he and a lot of budding rappers competed into open mic contests at the hip-hop shop on West 7 Mile. Being a white boy in a predominantly black environment, he stood out for all the wrong reasons and was constantly booed on stage. Determined to gain their respect, he never missed a single battle. It didn't take long after he opened his mouth to become well known. His fierce rhymes and creative insults often left his opponent quit from the stage. At 24 years old, with a daughter on the journey to prove himself, he released his first album called Infinite. It was almost entirely about his upcoming child and was all ignored by local DJs and radios. The criticism was brutal and many told him to go into rock and roll instead. This seemed like the end of the line for Eminem's career in rap, except he had no intentions of quitting. With the doubt of others on him, Eminem wrote and practiced his rhymes with agitation and purpose. He would even rap the food orders he received at Gilbert's Lodge, a family-style restaurant where he is a cook and a dishwasher. After the birth of his daughter, Haley, Eminem worked over 60 hours a week before he was suddenly fired. Eminem was at an all-time low, being jobless, a failed career, and his girlfriend left him. He stopped writing music and started taking painkillers to get through the day. While living alone in a horrible neighborhood and unable to see his daughter, he attempted to end his own life. Fortunately, his suicide attempt was unsuccessful. He soon returned to his music, crafting angrier and more agitated tracks than never before. At one time, while on the toilet practicing new rhymes, an idea flashed into his mind. Maybe his youthful rage could be included in his music using an alter ego that gave birth to Slim Shady. It was a moral personality Eminem would use to share his darkest thoughts. At 25, aiming the first prize of $500 and a Rolex, Eminem decided to try his luck at the 1997 Rap Olympics in Los Angeles. The night before the event, he came home to a locked door and an eviction notice. He had nowhere else to go, so he broke a window and climbed in. He slept on the floor with no heat, no water, and no electricity, preparing for his upcoming opportunity of being heard by top rappers. Eminem was a diffident person, making standing on a stage in front of hundreds of people a hard challenge. But as soon as he held the mic, his fear disappeared and all his pent-up rage came through in his lyrics. By the end of the Olympics, a man in the crowd yelled, "Just give it to the white boy. It's over." The judges refused, however, and gave him second place instead. Eminem had his world broken. He returned humiliated to live with his mother, girlfriend, and daughter in a dreadful trailer home. Unexpectedly, a copy of his performance was recorded on a cassette and was passed around. It eventually made its way to a rap producer, Dr. Dre, who was very much impressed. Dre brushed off the resounding criticism and sent out for Eminem. He was very overwhelmed that one of his idols wanted to see him. Not so long, Eminem entered into Dr. Dre's recording studio. He had bleached blonde hair and a bright, yellow sweatsuit that made Dre had doubted him. Those vanished, however, as he witnessed Eminem muttered out the rhymes for "My Name Is" on the first try. A single that would later earn the young rapper a worldwide fame. Years later, he was still struggling to pay rent for his trailer home, when his album Slim Shady LP was released. It was like nothing ever heard before in the rap industry. His alter ego Slim Shady proved to be a ruthless comedian, combining childish humor with homicidal rage. Shady's lyrics reflected the ups and downs in Eminem's life and his dreams of revenge for those who committed bad to him. With the blink of an eye, the album was an instant success, selling over 3 million copies and winning Eminem a Grammy Award. With money finally coming in, his very first purchase was a home for his family in a better neighborhood. Through the years, Eminem released several albums which became top hits worldwide. However, they also sparked lots of criticism due to his controversial lyrics. Fame hit Eminem like a ton of bricks, and his dream of becoming a famous rapper soon turned into agony. When he was not facing lawsuits and spiteful family members, he was surrounded by the media and crazed fans. In 2002, while working over 16 hours a day on his movie 8 Mile, Eminem came to a breaking point. He ate nothing but fast food and sleeping pills, becoming unrecognizable to his fans that leads him to a near-death experience. The thought of leaving his daughter alone urged him to attend church meetings and rehabilitation programs. With the help of Sir Elton John, Eminem returned to his music in 2008. He now had a more positive perspective, making his latest records more positive, inspirational and motivational for those low in life with similar situations. He then went on to win a Grammy Award for Best Trap Album. With almost all of his life fighting his way to the top, Eminem had finally begets the respect of major league hip-hop artists and more. He is an acclaimed rapper, writer, producer, and even actor. To date, he continues to produce successful records while taking care of his child. He also takes time to work with youths who are at risk, helping them face the same struggles he once faced. We see in this beautiful thing called life, Eminem's story is an inspiration to anyone who feels like no one is on their side. In times of hopelessness, there are stories to tell us that there is always a bright side. This is Story of Your Life Animations, and leaving you a quote from Eminem, one of the most famous rapper in the world. Everybody has goals, aspirations or whatever, and everybody has been at a point of their life where nobody believed in them.